All right, first graders, welcome back. It's Friday when I'm recording this, of course. Hope everyone's doing all right. Yesterday was my wife's birthday, like I told you in the last couple chapter video. It was a success. The cake I made was actually pretty good, which surprises me because I've only made a couple cakes in my life. I'm more of a stovetop cooking guy. I don't bake a lot of things other than pizza. So, yeah, it turned out great. She liked her present. We watched Mrs. Doubtfire together as a family. We ordered pizza from Domino's, which was really good. Normally we get pizza from Pizza Pipeline if we order, but it was so expensive. We're like, well, let's try Domino's to see what their prices are. Way cheaper, really good. I was pleasantly surprised. I hope everyone's doing all right. We got our weekend coming up. And, yeah, here we are, Chapter 8, The Magic Show. Oh, wait, no, I read Chapter 8. Yeah, my bad. Chapter 9. Gone is the name of this chapter. I leaned forward and watched closely. I wanted to figure out another one of Danica's tricks. From his seat behind the table, Danica took a paper napkin and tried to wrap it around the dinosaur. But the paper kept ripping. Darn, this one is too big, Danica said. Lucy handed her a smaller, Beanie Baby-sized dinosaur. Wait, Biggs cried. That's Spike! My favorite dinosaur! Don't make him disappear! Danica smiled. Don't worry, Biggs. I'll make Spike reappear again. Promise? I promise, Danica replied. This time, Danica had no problem covering it with a napkin. She held it up for all to see. A puzzled look crossed her face as she glanced under the table. Hello, down there, she cooed. Danica smiled. One of the babies is chewing on my shoe, she told us with a laugh. Suddenly, whap whap, Danica slapped the paper napkin and the dinosaur on the excuse me. Danica slapped the paper napkin and the dinosaur on the table twice. She raised her hand to slap it down a third time. ... Thud. The napkin flattened on the table. The dinosaur was gone. Now, to make it reappear, Danica announced, I noticed one of her shoulders drooped slightly, like maybe she was reaching under the table for something. Just a second, Danica mumbled. Lucy saw that Danica was in trouble and turned on the music again. Boom, boom, wugga boom, the stereo throbbed. A few more moments crawled by. Danica's face turned red. I'm having a little problem, she admitted. Where's Spike? Biggs demanded. He's, Danica bent over to look underneath the table. Danica sat back up. Spike has, disappeared. We already know that, Bobby Solofsky sneered. Yeah, bring him back, Biggs demanded. You don't get it, Biggs, Danica confessed. Spike has really disappeared. Picture? I'll start on this side. A wave of nervous laughter rolled through the room. Was this the third part of the act? What a rotten trick, scowled Solofsky. I glanced at Mila, who nodded towards Biggs. He seemed upset. I saw his lower lip tremble. It's not funny, Biggs charged. That's my favorite dinosaur, and you promised you'd bring it back. Danica's face turned from red to chalk white. I'm not trying to be funny, she said. Somebody somehow must have stolen Spike. I'm telling you, Biggs, I don't have your dinosaur. Chapter 10. The scene of the crime. Dun, dun, dun. Everyone was stunned. Voices and shouts filled the room. I stood and pointed at Danica. Don't touch a thing, Danica. No one leaves this room, I commanded. Mila and I walked up to Danica. Lucy stood by her side. Are you telling the truth? I whispered. Oh, are you telling the truth? I whispered. Danica's eyes widened. She looked directly into mine. Yes, Jigsaw. Help me, please. I honestly don't know what happened to the dinosaur. We get $1 a day, I said. In advance, Mila added. Danica nodded. Sure, anything. Just get me out of this mess. She glanced towards Biggs and then handed me $1 bill. It disappeared into my pocket. Neat trick, huh? I'll interview the witnesses, Mila said. I nodded. Start with Solovsky. Whenever there's trouble, he's usually in the middle of it. Here, take my journal. But first, let me do one thing. I turned to clean a page and wrote, Case, the disappearing dinosaur. Client, who's the customer, Danica Starling. Picture? Mila got everyone to stay seated. One by one, she asked them questions. Meanwhile, I talked to Danica and Lucy. You were looking under the table, I said. Are you sure the dinosaur isn't there? See for yourself, Danica answered. We lifted up the tablecloth. There was an empty shoebox under the desk, padded with a soft cloth and not much else. Besides Buster, of course, who was busily chewing on a desk leg. Picture. Here we go. Tell me exactly how this trick was supposed to work, I asked Danica. No way, Lucy protested. A magician never reveals her secrets. I crossed my arms. Get real, Lucy, I said. We have to solve this mystery. I need to know all the facts. Lucy locked eyes with Danica. Together in silence, they seemed to decide something. It's like this, ... Danica began. The trick was simple, actually. It began when Danica sat behind the desk. When she folded the napkin over the dinosaur, Danica made sure to leave the bottom uncovered. Then she let the dinosaur slip into her lap. The trick was that the paper napkin still kept the shape of the dinosaur. No one noticed that it was missing. When you slapped it against the table, it made a noise, even though the napkin was empty, I noted. Danica reached under and whap, 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 knocked against the bottom of the table. She said, the third time, I just flattened the napkin. Got it, I said. So you're saying the dinosaur should still be on your lap? Picture. These pictures of her demonstrating how it works. Lucy shook her head. No. Danica is supposed to take it and stuff it into the box. Picture? Like that. So that's the third part. I did stuff it into the box, Danica claimed. That's what's so weird. I looked down at Buster, still chewing at the table. I lifted my baseball cap and scratched the back of my neck. Did you eat it, Buster? I asked. Buster didn't answer. Great, I mumbled. What every detective loves. We've got one witness, but he ain't talking. Chapter 11. This is the last chapter. Pretty cool. We read a book in a week. Sweet. A surprise ending. Mila joined us. No one has much to say, she told me, and Bobby never left his seat. Some kids said they saw movement under the table, but that was probably just Larry. Remember, he was under there for a while. Larry, I asked. Or Harry? Same thing, Mila replied, isn't it? I guess she was right. Jigsaw thinks maybe Buster ate it, Danica told Mila. Mila looked at the ground. She frowned. Buster's a chewer, she said. Not a swallower. There would be bits of cloth and beanie stuffing on the ground, don't you think? I did think. And Mila was probably right. We talked over the case. Mila again asked Danica, you say you stuffed it into the box. Are you sure? I told you 3 times in a row, Danica said. I reached down, I felt the cloth, and stuffed it in there. But you had to do it quickly, I said. That's part of the trick, right? Danica nodded. Yeah, it's not like I have all day. Whoops! Crash! One of the babies, Harry or Larry, knocked over a lamp. The other one squatted in the doorway. He seemed sort of uncomfortable. Hey, Biggs, I called. Better get your mother. I think maybe your brother just did his business, if you know what I mean. Picture. A lot going on in this picture. All right. Biggs walked over to his little brother. He bent down and sniffed. I'm sure maybe if you have younger siblings, you've had to do this before too. I don't think so, Jigsaw. He doesn't smell bad. Wait a minute, I said. Is he the one that was playing under the table? Biggs shrugged. Mila shrugged. Danica shrugged. Twins. Yeesh. Who can tell the difference? What are you thinking, Jigsaw? Mila asked. I felt the cloth on the box on the floor. It was soft and fluffy. How's the diaper feel? I asked Biggs. Nuh-uh, Biggs said. I'm not touching it. You feel it. I gulped. Diapers. As a rule, I don't go near the things. But I suddenly had a crazy hunch. And a mystery was a mystery. It was my job to get to the bottom of it. Get it? Even if at the bottom of it was attached to a baby's bottom. Come here, little guy, I cooed. Come here. I noticed a freckle on the end of his nose. Must be Larry, I figured. Anybody know how to get these things off? I asked, tugging on the diaper. I don't think that's such a good idea, Biggs advised. The last time he was nudie, Larry took a pee all over the kitchen floor. It's a risk we'll have to take, I grimly determined. Here, let me help you, Mila said. She gently placed Larry on his back and pulled the tape off the sides of his diaper. She lifted up the diaper, and there it was. The dinosaur. Spike! Biggs exclaimed. How'd you get in there? Danica looked at me in surprise. Larry seemed pretty surprised himself, like he just discovered some kind of new amazing talent. I had no idea that was going to happen. Larry was under the table, I explained. You must have stuffed the dinosaur into the back of his diaper by mistake. Picture? We all got a good laugh out of that one. Suddenly the lights dimmed. A glow came from the top of the stairs. Creak, creak. Heavy footfalls made the stairs groan. It was Mr. and Mrs. Maloney carrying a cake with candles. The cake was from Grandma's bakery, from a case we solved yesterday. We sang to Biggs, Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, you look like a monkey, and you act like one too. And that was the end of that. Another case solved. It didn't take magic, just a spike-tailed dinosaur that didn't feel too comfortable in somebody's diaper. That wouldn't be very comfortable. I guess it all started with a good guy named Joey Pignatano, an honest guy who found some money. All he wanted to do was the right thing. Mila suddenly burst out laughing. What's so funny? I asked. Oh, I was just thinking about the look on little Larry's face when we found that dinosaur in his diaper. He was stunned. It's like he was sort of proud, you know? Like he did it all by himself. Turn the page. Trying to turn that. There we go. Well, I've heard of the goose that laid golden eggs, I said. Maybe Larry thinks he's the baby who lays beanie babies. Or was that Harry? Asked Danica. Whatever, Mila and I chimed back. The end. There's a last picture. That was a good book. That's actually the first Jigsaw Jones book I've ever read, and first time actually reading it. I didn't read this ahead of time. So I basically was discovering this story the same time you guys are, okay? So, yeah, good book. Let me put this over here. I brought some books in here that I thought might be good reads. Let me see here. Okay. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 book choices. Okay. Now, you guys can't vote. That would be cool if you could. If everyone was using their computer and we were a little more used to using all this technology at home, I might have you guys vote. Maybe if you're in like 3rd or 4th grade, but I'm just going to pick one. I'm going to show them to you, and if I don't get to it next week, because that's when I'll start reading the book on Monday. If I don't get to this book next week that you're wanting to hear, it'll probably be coming in the future, okay? So stay tuned. Here's our book choices. There's The Adventures of the Bailey School Kids. This is a series, and I have 1, 2, 3 from that series. Now, here's those. There is Cupid Doesn't Flip Hamburgers. That seems more like a Valentine's Day. I'm going to put this one over here. I don't know if I'm going to do that one. But here's two. I'm not going to do that one right away anyways. Ghouls don't scoop ice cream. Ghouls. Oh, not ghouls. Ghosts don't eat potato chips. And I think these are more silly, like, scary books, not like super, super scary. I will kind of preview through these, and if it seems like it's too scary, then I won't. I'll probably do a different book, okay? Because I don't want to give you nightmares, okay? There's those two, and then these ones are pretty cool. Dinosaur Cove series. So I've got Attack of the Tyrannosaurus. Those boys are just reading a book, not even knowing what's going on. And then the next one is Stampede of the Edmontosaurus. Interesting. Yeah, ooh. These will be a good read. So I'll let you know what's coming. You'll find out on Monday which one of these books I'm choosing. I'm going to make you wait, okay? So, yeah, like I said, I will upload this Monday. This weekend, I'm going to do some other things around the house. I got to finish trimming more trees. Oh, my gosh, I spent like 2 hours trimming a peach tree yesterday, and I was like, just one tree? Seriously? I already know this. Every year I go through the same thing. I'm like, yeah, I forget how long it takes because I haven't done yard work all winter. But, yeah, that's what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm going to work on my Chevelle, my older car. Probably squeeze some video games in. I've got some working out to do because I tell you what, staying home and not teaching, I mean, the pounds. I gain pounds so quickly. It's like, boom. So, yeah, hope everyone's doing all right. Happy Friday. Happy weekend. Help your parents out. Do some chores, okay? That's right. You heard it from me. You better do some chores. Vacuum, clean a window, clean a bathroom. You better be making. Don't think that making your bed and cleaning your room is a chore. That's just what you need to do. Okay? See what you can do to help them out. Seriously. All right. See you Monday.